didiktv KPM.
Hello everyone, welcome back to didiktv slot for Menengah Rendah, and for today's class Bahasa Inggeris, we are focusing on reading skills. And don't forget, our focus material is the close-up page textbook, English textbook for Form 3, 110 to 111, right, Teacher Halimatul?
Yes, that's correct, Shafika.
All right, and then for this segment, our title is What is the Writer Saying? So what exactly is the writer saying, teacher?
Well, we'll find out when they read the text.
Okay, we'll find out soon.
Okay, but before we read the text, let's get back to the 5 words that the pupils were supposed to guess, which are... Anybody? Quickly, very quickly?
Yes.
They're very simple words. In fact, you can see them on the slide, some of the words.
All right.
Nivila? Some of the words. The 5 words just now?
Yeah. Oh, the first one was surveillance.
Surveillance, yes, that's correct. You want to try another one?
There was sat-nav somewhere there.
Yes, a sat-nav. You got it. That's quite not an easy word. Oh, a
Teacher,
computer?
can I try it?
Yeah, sure, Alicia.
Criminals.
And there's just one more. One more word.
One more word.
Duffy? Did you get camera?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, because these are all the words that they'll be looking at and they'll be talking about when we are doing our activities. Okay, so let's move on to activity A before we read the text, okay, just as a warm-up so that you can understand the text a lot better before you read it. Okay, let's look at the screen. There are 5 devices shown there: a surveillance camera, a video camera, a computer, a mobile phone, and a sat-nav. Since Nivilas was the first person who managed to guess that word, what do you know about what a sat-nav is, Nivila? Do you know what a sat-nav is?
It's satellite navigation.
Wonderful, wow. I didn't know what a sat-nav was until I was supposed to do this lesson with you guys, and I had to do some research. Would you like to share your thoughts about what you think people doing surveillance could get from a sat-nav? What kind of information can they get? Nivila?
You can get information on other planets or...
Other planets? Such as? Give me an example.
Mars or Venus, Uranus.
All right. And why do you think we on Earth want to navigate? Because that's the combination of those 2 words, satellite and navigation. They've combined those 2 words to become a sat-nav, which is a proper word. You can find it in the dictionary. So why do you think we want to navigate on other planets? What do you think, Nivila? Would you like to expand more?
Because eventually you might finish resources on Earth and can get destroyed, so you have to move to other planets too.
Wow. You must watch a lot of sci-fi movies.
Very based on that.
Yes, but it's probably true. You know, we don't know for how much longer the Earth can support us. The population is growing daily.
The atmosphere is thinning.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we have surveillance camera, video camera, a computer, and a mobile phone. Alicia, it's your turn to speak now.
All right.
Which gadget do you think you want to talk about? How or what information will people get from the device that you choose? Which one do you want to choose to talk about, Alicia?
A mobile phone.
Okay, all right. So what kind of information, if you're doing surveillance, that you can get from a mobile phone?
Surveillance in particular.
Yep, try and think. It's not just to chat with your friends or play games, but if you think you want to spy on someone with a mobile phone, what kind of information can you get using a mobile phone?
Yeah.
You can use the camera to take videos.
Anything else?
Like on an iPhone, there's a voice memo app, so you can record other people's voices as well.
Yep. Why do you want to record other people's voices? When do you think you will have that opportunity to do so?
Maybe if you're in an important meeting and you need to remember the information
Yes.
then you can record it.
That's
Yeah.
true. Or maybe this is me again being because Nivila and I, we have something in common, which is we love, or I love to watch sci-fi movies or action movies. You know, if you are like going to meet a dangerous person and you want to be safe, you can switch on your recording app, like what Alicia said just now, and record the events, all right? So yeah, very good, Alicia. Thank you so much.
People can also locate your location from the phone as well.
Yes, that's right.
If you go missing.
True. Okay, what about you, Duffy? Just now I asked you what you like to do when you come back from home. I'm pretty sure your answer would be either sleep or play games, right? Then only you will do your homework. So maybe a computer would be something for you to talk about. It's your turn now to speak. So what do you think you can get? What information can you get using a computer if you are a surveillance person? You know, maybe you are working with the police, I don't know, in the future. What do you think, Duffy?
Well, all right. So when you are using a computer, you can do many things to like spy on someone, such as like if you use a data mine of some sort, like you know, like the dark web. That is really something that people would use to spy on someone.
Wow.
And actually, if you have this bit, you know, this thing where you can like use to pay using the dark web, you can actually, well, hire some people to spy on people that you want to.
Wow, that's very, very interesting. The dark web. I've heard of it. I've never ventured into it. So, but it is true. These are things that are in our life, and we have to be careful about it. And actually, a desktop computer, in my opinion, is one of the most powerful surveillance tool that one can use, especially if the specs is really high, like what Duffy mentioned just now. All right. Okay. All right. Last but not least, let's have Harsini. Okay, Harsini, which gadget would you like to choose to talk about?
I would say the surveillance camera. It's pretty similar to a mobile phone because you can also record people moving and whatever is happening in that situation. But I think a surveillance camera would be more suitable, like, for example, in a shop and you want to catch any situations that don't look normal, such as like robbery or anything.
Yes.
And then also a surveillance camera can also be useful because sometimes when the robber like looks at the camera, they will have the feel to not rob anymore because, you know, they have the evidence.
True, exactly. Sometimes a surveillance camera can deter criminals from wanting to do something. They go to that particular shop or place and they see, oh, there are cameras everywhere, then they will just forget about it.
Yeah, sometimes you don't turn on the camera, they'll just get spooked off by the camera itself.
That's right, exactly. Thank you so much, guys. You guys did wonderful for this particular part, to share your thoughts and ideas, which is part of our lesson, which is to share what you know, okay, the knowledge that you have. So let's move on to, so these are some basic information to explain what all those gadgets are all about, okay? And you all, I think you explained everything for almost more or less the same like what's there on the slide. Good job, everybody. 10 points to everyone.
Wow, 10 points.
Yes, okay. All right, now you guys are going to read very, very quickly, or the correct term to use is to skim first. Skim means just do it very lightly. Read the first sentence and the last sentence of the paragraph to get the general idea of what the text is. I don't want you guys to spend too much time reading. Just skim very, very quickly, okay? Because we are going to complete activity B, which is reading for gist, just to get a general idea. All right, so you guys should take about just 1 minute or 1 minute plus just to skim through. And the text is not that long anyway. Because remember, we're not looking for details. We are looking for general idea, all right, to answer the 3 questions there, which are, we are being watched all the time. It should only be used on criminals, and surveillance equipment can be more effective than people at detecting some things. So they are going to find out if those statements are true or false. Okay.
For those
So-
of you watching, can also refer to close-up page textbook, English textbook, Form 3, page 110. Now, teacher, when you talk about skimming through, when you're trying to get out information, is it particularly because you remember which paragraph it's placed at, referring to the true or false, or is it because we remember? Which one is it more accurate
Okay,
to?
when we're reading for gist, we will mainly look at the first sentence, which is also known as the topic sentence of any text or any kind of reading. Normally, the first sentence and even the second sentence will tell the reader in general what that particular paragraph is all about. So if you have 5 paragraphs in your reading text and you read just the first 2 sentences, which will not take more than a minute, you will get a general idea of what the text is all about. Because the questions for reading for gist is definitely very general. Usually it will be something like, what do you think the text is all about?
Right.
They will
And,
not ask for details.
Yes, that's perfectly true. For the pupils who are ready to answer.
Yeah, I think they are, because
Yes?
it's a very short text and they're
Okay.
just looking at the first sentence and even the last sentence of the text.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, so guys, are we ready to find out if the questions or the sentences are true or false? Thumbs up, everyone. Let me see if you guys are ready.
All
Yay.
right.
All right, so number 1, we are being watched all the time. Everybody in a chorus, I want to hear true or false.
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 Yes, it's false. Wonderful. Okay, we are not watched all the time. Okay, all right. And what about number 2? It should only be used on criminals. Alicia?
It's also false.
Yes, it's false, because surveillance camera is for everything. It's not just for criminals. And the third one, Harshini.
True.
Yes. What do you think, Duffy? Is Harshini correct?
Yes.
Number 3?
Yes,
Yes,
it
you
is
got
true.
true. So, yep, they are all correct. They managed to get it right. So, that's the technique that pupils need to employ when you want to read a text. Let's say this is an exam, all right? And don't attack the text as though you are hungry. Don't devour it immediately. Just skim it through first to get a general idea. And looking at the questions also will help you to understand what the text is, and we'll talk about that later in the next segment.
All right, I'm looking forward to that. Good job, pupils, for answering those questions, true or false. We'll be going for a short break first, and we'll be right back here on didiktv KPM.
Didik TV KPM